Welcome back to the channel, everyone. So today I have a Spright deck profile. In the past 2 weeks, I have been playing at my locals, and I have topped every single one. That's approximately 5 so far, because they have it Friday and Saturday, and sometimes on Wednesdays. The only losses I have had to date with it have been in the mirror match, where I have lost the die roll. Other than that, the deck has been uber consistent, and yeah, so we'll just go right into it. So first off, we'll start off with the Splight package. We have the 1 carrot and the 2 reds. This comes up a lot with Crossout Designator or with Smashers. Sometimes in the mirror match, they'll attempt to banish it, or if it gets removed, it's really nice. Also, normal summoning one of these is actually not really bad, because once you normal summon, you will be able to special summon whatever other Spright you have, and then that effect is guaranteed to go off unless they have an imperm. So there's that. Obviously, you need 3 blues and 3 jets and 3 starters. Literally, you have 9 cards that say do Splight plays and get into gigantic Spright. This is like super standard with the 3 blue, 3 jet, 3 starter. I have seen some lists playing 3 red and no carrot and 1 and 1. 2 and 1 I think is the most correct. There have been multiple times where this comes up to help negate something, but yeah. And then the last Spright card we have is Spright Smashers. It's your out to almost anything. It's really good in the mirror because you can go ahead and banish either the Ronin or the Swap Frog when they try to summon it. And then it makes the Ronin Totem dead. Good against gigantic Spright as well. Mystic Mine, any of those cards that kind of cheese you. Next, we have the 3 OG Swap Frogs. Best card in the game. Literally, you abuse it, special it off of Elf again, send another card, send another frog. It's just too good. And then 1 Ronin Totem, obviously, and then 1 Dupe Frog. Dupe Frog is good because in conjunction with Smashers, it helps to be an extra body to get rid of, or with either red or carrot is really nice because then you can just get rid of it and you're not too worried about it. It's also nice because it's another thing your opponent has to attempt to either negate or beat over. We also have 3 Diva. Diva works really well with the Swap Frogs because it's an aqua, so you can special it. And then there's a cool combo where you can actually use Diva and then you make Hulk. Hulk will summon off of one of your hand traps because 99% of them are tuners, and then you bounce it back with Swap Frog. So for the hand traps, I think I'm playing like 14 or 15. We have 2 Veilers, just very generic, very good against most of the matchups. I have been considering bumping it to 3, but I want to keep the deck to 30. We have 2 Ogres. It's good against the adventure package and especially good in the mirror match where they have to have a response to this, otherwise they just cry. We have 3 DD Crows. It's mediocre in the mirror match. There's a couple of jank decks at my locals as well, so it helps hit those. And then 3 specifically for the tier element. No hand trap really hits it as hard because all you have to do is you literally just DD Crow whichever monster they send, and then they can't fuse. Another card that's actually also really good, obviously, is 3 Ash. Good against the tier element cards, especially like Havnus, the quick effect monster, because it says mill, and then that's ashable. And then you have 3 Imperm. It's like effect failure, but also dodges a lot of things. And then finally, you play not 1, not 2, but 3 Called by the Graves. Crossout Designator is actually really good in the mirror match as well, because sometimes when they try to activate effect, you just Crossout Designator and then they're sort of stuck. Also, some lists have been playing Nibiru, but I don't think Nibiru is very impactful this format, especially with gigantic. What was it? Gigantic Spright that locks you into level 2s. And then finally, we have 2 triple tactics and a monster reborn. This card was very lackluster, definitely switching it out, either for the 3rd talent or the 3rd crossout designator. I am not playing Prosperities purely because I don't have it. I have also been testing a Pot of Desires, which is actually not bad either. So these 3 should either be 3 triple tactics, or like 2 desires and something else, or 3 pots. I think pot of prosperity is definitely the move because it makes your deck uber consistent, and no matter what you hit off of it, especially if you're siding for game 3, it helps you dig and look for those shutout cards that you need. So for the extra deck, 1 Almirage, that's a 1-card combo with Swap Frog. This is a Hulk that I have accidentally sold on TCG Players, so I had to pull it off of my own deck. Hulk was actually very underwhelming, so it'll most likely get switched to either a Nightmare Phoenix, or another generic rank 2 monster. One that I've been looking at is like Digusto Emerald, I think it is, or Phoenix, that basically lets you attack twice. But yeah, Dark has been super helpful in the mirror match. It helps you take an extra monster, level 2, then you get the effect. Or on the other thing that it's good for, it's against like tier elements and things like that. Obviously, you have to play 2 Spright Elf. This could also be a 3rd Elf, by the way. There's been like 1 or 2 times in the grind game that I've wanted to see the 3rd Elf. It hasn't come up too much, but it's definitely something worth noting and considering. We also have 1 IP Masquerena. Broken card. Literally, the reason why you play IP is because you have Avermax, which a lot of decks struggle to get over, and then you have Underworld. So a lot of times when they start going into their combo, it's really good. You just IP and then you link off their board, or you could just link off their normal summon, and then now they're stuck because they don't have any extenders or any way to get to a level 2. And then for the Exceeds, you have your 2 Gigantic Spright. You don't need 3. 2 is definitely the perfect number. You have 1 Sky Cavalry Centuria, which leads into the rest of your Zeus package. This actually came up. Some hero player decided to normal summon, was it Plasma Vice or something like that? So I was only able to normal summon, then special summon, then overlay, and it's like 1900, and this was 2k, so I beat over it. And then I was able to make a Zeus, and then on top of that, I went into the entire Toad and Spright combo. And then obviously you have the 1 Totally Awesome and the 1 Cat Shark. Cat Shark, I did cut it for a little bit, but then in testing I realized a lot of times you'll use Gigantic Spright in order to get more bodies on board, and then it's hard to OTK because you become locked into level 2s without Cat Shark. OCG is definitely on something with the Cat Shark. Finally, we have the extra deck, or the side deck. So you have the 1 Harpies and the 3 Lightning Storm for back row hate. It's also, Lightning Storm is a good generic going 2nd card, especially. We have a couple Exo Sister players and just random jank. The 3 Dark Ruler for the mirror and other combo or heavy negate setups that are very oppressive. So I have 2 Solemn Judgments. This was because Dark Ruler No More is very strong. Crossout is also very good because you just side this in going first game 3. And if they Dark Ruler you just cross out. We had 3 D barriers. It was to hit the couple Sword Sword players we have, the tier elements, And that was really about it. It was kind of lackluster, but I will say every time that I did have it, it did its job. The final card would be a Point of the Red Lotus. It's just way too good. Literally says, look at your opponent's hand, and you take out the Dark Ruler no more. And now they have to play through your Toad negates, which is 2. And then maybe an IP, as well as at least a hand trap or Spright Smashers. In this, though, I think probably switch this out for a spicy tech card called Blizzard. It's a quick play spell that literally omni negates a spell card. And because really the only thing you're really afraid of is Dark Ruler. Droplet, it doesn't get played too much, but if it does come up, usually they send monsters, and you don't really have to worry about that, but that is something to consider. This actually was an MVP during one of the mirror matches in Game 3, where I judgmented the normal summon, and they didn't have any additional extenders, so they literally passed turn, and then I OTK'd the following turn. So I'm going to briefly go over the 1-card combos that this deck has that are just super OP. Even if you don't open any splites, and let's say you either open a Diva or a Swap Frog, you automatically have a 1-card combo that will get you into a totally awesome. So if you only draw the Diva and 4 hand traps, normal summon Diva, special summon Diva from deck, you'll overlay into Gigantic Spright, activate effect, and if it's good, you detach. Remember, it is not for cost. From that, you special out Swap Frog. Swap Frog effect to send the Ronin Toad in. You'll link for 2 into the Spright Elf. Spright Elf effect will activate. You'll bring out Swap Frog. Swap Frog effect to send another frog from deck. You'll banish to bring out the Ronin Toad in. Then you'll overlay for totally awesome. And then with this combo, if you have 4 hand traps, they're literally playing through 2 Omni Negates. Plus they have to beat over a Dupe Frog, which is good for follow-up for next turn if they can't beat over it. And 4 hand traps. So the other 1-card combo that we have is with Swap Frog. You'll normal summon Swap Frog, send Ronin Toad. And this is why we play the Almirage. You'll link off into Almirage, activate Ronin Toad effect, banishing the Swap Frog, specialing Ronin Toad. You'll link 2 into Spright Elf. You'll activate Elf effect to bring the Ronin Toad out. Then you overlay for Gigantic Spright. And then you activate Gigantic effect, sending Ronin Toad in as part of the effect to bring out another Swap Frog. The Swap Frog will send another Swap Frog from deck. You'll go ahead, banish the Swap Frog, special the Ronin Toad in, and then overlay for Toad. Obviously, this is a lot weaker, but again, at this point, with only 1 card, not only do they have to play through 1 Omni Negate, and then what you can do is, if you have the dupe in deck, you special the dupe, and so you will now have Ronin Toad engraved detaching in the standby phase to special the Dupe Frog. And then in this situation, you're going to send the Dupe Frog for the Toad effect. And then you'll be able to set whatever card, plus you have 4 hand traps. Thanks guys for watching. So that's it for the 1-card combo tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and then I'll catch you next time. Deuces.